Hi, I'm Christopher Walker with Closely Observed Literature. In this video review I'm going to talk about the graphic novel City of Glass, based on the story by Paul Auster that forms part of the New York Trilogy. And this is an adaptation by Paul Karasik and David Mazzucchelli. So, I think I love the New York Trilogy. I'm pretty sure that I do. But when I think about it, it's usually only the first part of that trilogy that I really remember fondly. The middle part, which was all those characters who had the names of colours, I found it difficult to get through because there's a reason that you choose names carefully when you're writing a book, and if all the characters sound like they have the same name, it's pretty difficult for you to keep track of who's who. The third part felt to me to be a kind of recapitulation, in a way, of the first part of the trilogy. I enjoyed it. It's been years since I read it, but yeah, it was good. City of Glass, though, was always the standout part. So if you've never read it, and maybe you're the sort of person waiting for, I don't know, the Hollywood version or something, well, this is what you want. This graphic novel is probably the best graphic novel I've read. I mean, I've never read Watchmen or anything like that, but of all the things that I've read like this, it's one of the best. The drawings, the illustrations inside, the ink work, the choice of fonts even, the size of the text, the way it's written, it's all fantastic. It's perfectly suited to the story that it tells. So that story is about Quinn, I think Daniel Quinn. Interesting initials, don't you think? DQ. So he's a reader of detective novels, and one day he gets a phone call in the middle of the night asking for Paul Auster, who it turns out is a detective or something. So eventually curiosity leads him to accepting whatever job was being offered for Paul Auster. He takes on this this name, and he starts investigating what's going on. It's about this guy called Peter Stillman, and again, interesting name, Stillman, who had a very odd upbringing. As a child, his professor father locked him in a room and denied him human contact in the hope of generating or deriving the fundamental language that is in the heart of all of us. Now he's back in town, it seems, the elder Stillman, and Quinn's job is to protect the son from the father. There's this worry of murder or something like that. So he has to basically find the father and follow him. Now, that's as far as I can go with the plot. There are lots of twists and turns. There's a lot of philosophy in there, but it's a sort of presentation of philosophy that makes it very accessible. It was very accessible in the original book, and I would say it's even more so here. There's something so tangibly immediate about the way that this is presented that makes it work. And of course, the way that it captures New York is a massive part of that as well. I mean, the illustrations here, I mean, that really sets the scene in a way that writers struggle to. I mean, imagine wanting to talk about this frame, for instance. How would you go about that as a writer? Sometimes it really is the case that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Also, the changing aspects of Daniel Quinn, the character. I like the way that this is represented, where he's in his head, he's changing from just himself, this kind of nobody, into the prototypical private dick, the kind of, you know, Marlowe sort of character. So if you've not read graphic novels much, and I hadn't before I came across this, then this would be a great place to start. If you like literature and if you like the stories of Paul Auster, then this is a great book. It's definitely worth its place on your bookcase. I just wish that the spine was a little bit more appealing, because when it's wedged in between other books, it's kind of hard. It's light blue on dark blue for the name. It's a small point. It's not going to put me off reading this again in the future. So there we go. Short review of City of Glass by Paul Auster, transliterated into the graphic novel format. Very, very well done. Expertly done. So there we go. If you like that, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, blah, 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 blah. You've heard it all before. Thank you. See you next time.